Hi, let's continue with our SAT practice test. Bacteria are growing in a liquid growth medium. There were 300,000 cells per milliliter during an initial observation. The number of cells per milliliter doubles every 3 hours. How many cells per milliliter will there be 15 hours after the initial observation? Let's start with this information. There were 300,000 cells per milliliter during an initial observation. After 0 hours of the initial observation, or during an initial observation, there were 300,000 cells per milliliter. But we also know that the number of cells per milliliter doubles. That's right, doubles every 3 hours. So, 3 hours after the initial observation, we will have 600,000 cells per milliliter. And now, if we add 3 more hours over here, so 6 hours after the initial observation, we will have the double of this quantity, or 1,200,000 cells per milliliter. Never forget that the number of cells per milliliter doubles every 3 hours. So, if we add 3 more hours over here, or 9 hours after the initial observation, there will be the double of this number, or 2,400,000 cells per milliliter. And after 3 more hours, or 12 hours after the initial observation, there will be the double of this quantity, or 4,800,000 cells per milliliter. And the question was, how many cells per milliliter will there be 15 hours after the initial observation? We know that 12 hours after the initial observation, the number of cells per milliliter is 4,800,000. If we add 3 more hours over here, or 15 hours after the initial observation, this rate doubles. So now it's gonna be 9,600,000. Remember that you can use the calculator. That's it, we are done with this problem. How many cells per milliliter will there be 15 hours after the initial observation? There will be 9,600,000. The choice C is the correct answer. That's all for today, but don't forget that you can also determine a function that relates the number of hours elapsed after the initial observation and the number of cells per milliliter. See you next lesson.